Hello, everybody. I'm Krasi, and I have the pleasure to introduce to you Joe Greenland from Canada. And he is a shaman, a real medicine man. And he lives in this very special place in Canada around the Nordic Circle, where, according to the ancients, really the people are closer to God. So it is not just a coincidence that you're a medicine man, that you're using ancient natural herbal means to help people. And I know that you do this since many, many years, and you are clairvoyant, you are intuitive, you are medium, and I can confirm this because I know I'm your astrologer. So thank you very much for accepting my invitation, Joe. Please introduce yourself with 2-3 words and tell us what is the most important for in our conversation, how we can really help people, so that they use really natural herbal techniques, to help themselves in any means, in any areas in this difficult timing, in our difficult lives. Yes, thank you for accepting my invitation again.
Thank you. My name is Joe Greenland. It was given to me when I was born, and my native name is Shoni Homble. Medicine man prayed for about a year going in and out of the sweat lodge to give me a name. So they told him to call me Shoni Homble, so that's the name I use. It translates in English to Fox Dreamer, which is my company and my logo.
Oh yes, I will place your link to your website and to your YouTube channel under this video so that people really can see what you're doing, because you have also own videos which are very interesting. How did you become shaman, Joe?
When I was born, my mother gave me to my grandfather, and I always saw and heard things right from a very early age. And my grandfather could see and hear, so he taught me over the years how to listen to what I hear and see inside myself. And just lots of different things happened as I grew up. After I left the Arctic, I moved to Edmonton, Alberta. After my granddad passed away and there was no work, so I moved to Alberta, and there I started connecting with the Cree Indians, Sioux Indians, other medicine men from the States and Canada, where we did lots of sweat lodges and different ceremonies that this made my knowledge open up more with the teachings and everything. For me, my granddad always taught me to pray and ask the universe. The biggest thing in the native culture is to ask. We forget to ask the creator, the universe, the angels, the spirit guides, even the earth mother and the plants. Everything is listening. And we got too out of tune to that with the way the world is. And sometimes just asking for things to come into our lives and trusting that knowing inside, because lots of us are afraid to go inside because the world tells us maybe it's wrong, or our belief system or our culture. But it's a natural thing. Even for little children, it's natural to trust that knowing inside. So with us, in a lot of our knowledge and a lot of our ceremonies, when it comes to plants or any kind of thing, we do
Yes.
We always take tobacco. We always use tobacco, and tobacco is really important. We say the Creator gave it to us as a gift to give back. So whenever we do anything, we always take a little tobacco. If I'm going to go pick like this sweetgrass.
Sweetgrass.
Yes. So we pick this. It's a medicine. We use it in the ceremony and that. So we'll find a place where sweetgrass grows, and before we even go there, wherever the area is, we put tobacco in our hands, and we give the tobacco first to the Creator, and then we give it to the Earth Mother, and then we ask the Eastern Spirit, where the sun comes up in the morning, to come and bring the blessings, and then the South, the West, and the North. While we're doing that, afterwards, we start talking to the plant like this.
Can we find everywhere all over the world this sweetgrass?
The sweetgrass that I know is in Canada. I don't know if it's in Europe, but same thing with the sage.
So we can replace it with sage if we can't find uh,
Yeah,
this.
so this sage, like the buffalo sage and that, I have grounded up. The
Mhm.
same thing is after you ask the blessings of all these directions in the Earth Mother, when I'm praying and then I put the tobacco by the plant and I stand there and I tell the plant what I'm going to do before I take the, because it's got its own life force, its own energy. So then I use the tobacco and I give it and I say the prayers. I'm going to use it for healing. I'm going to use it to help people with their energy. I'm going to gift it to somebody. So if they're having a hard time when they burn it in their home, it's going to bring really good things from the earth and creator and all the things that I put into the prayers from all these different directions and everything. It invites in that, because then when you ask and you're burning that, you're giving permission for the spirits to come in and assist you. And that's part of the disconnection. Is when
Just tell me. So you're taking the tobacco, but
yes,
just tell me what you do with the if you so if we cannot find the sweet grass, we can replace it with sage. And how
yes,
exactly do you do the ceremony? You do the for praying first.
yes. It's always to the creator, right? Because the creator made everything.
You can throw it,
So
right?
yeah, you could throw it.
Aha, aha.
But usually I just hold the tobacco in a native way. We just hold it and we ask the creator for the blessing, because everything is
Ah,
first from
I
the
see. I
creator.
see. Hmm, hmm.
And then the earth mother, because she created everything we use for our lives to be human. And then the sun always comes up first thing in the morning that lightens up the world. And so we ask from the east when that comes in for the energy to also, because it's part of the plant. And so we, with the prayers, we're in our hands, we're saying the prayer.
Aha.
And then we do the east in the day, and then the west in the evening, and then the north at night. And we honor all of them. And then we say the prayer of why we're going to take the plant and how we're going to use it.
All right, I
So,
understand.
yes, so that is really important in what we're doing. And
Yes. So you're taking the plant which you will be using to help people, right?
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes. For example, you're taking sage or you're taking sweet. And what is the next step? This can you do with any plant actually, right? Any plant which will be having healing purposes or ritualistic purposes, right?
yes. And we're going to use it in ceremony then by talking to the plant. Like this is all ground up sage, different
Aha.
buffalo sage and BC sage that I picked and I prayed, me and Cindy. So
Mhm.
we went and we gave the tobacco before we picked it. So when I'm going to do the prayer again, I always give to the creator first. And we always say to the four directions, the earth mother, earth, she provides all the energy. She sustains all the life forces and she created all these things. So her energy comes in when you're using this and you're honoring everything. Because we say her children, right? Her
Yes.
children are the trees, which are the standing people. We talk about the ones with roots in the ground. We say her children is the rooted ones. And we say the animals, the four legs, and the ones that fly, the winged ones. So we ask all the spirits, we invite them in to work with us, to hear our prayers. So whenever I'm going to smudge, so I put the smudge and I'm going to light it. And first thing when I light it is the first thing again is always the creator. The smoke goes to the creator first. Really
Yes.
important. Always give to the creator because everything comes there. Then the earth mother, then the sun in the east, the sun in the south, sun in the west, sun in the north, because those are important in our life. And then I take this and I ask to clean my hands because I use it for everything. Because if I'm going to heal or I'm going to work with medicine or pick plants, I want my hands clean. So I clean. It's like washing, showering. So I ask all of that to be blessed. And then my mind, so I put the smoke through my mind. So my mind is clear. My my connection to creator is clear. And then into my eyes. So whatever I'm going to see in the spirit world is clear. The third eye, your eyes. And then you breathe in to your body, inside your body when you breathe, so it could heal and help. And then you clean all your energy field, which is your auric field, and you clean everything. And then you go to your heart, because your heart's always connected to God. And then it loves God. It loves everything. So it's the mind to the heart, and then back to the. So then when everything opens, you see and you hear, and the smoke helps. Because where does the smoke go? It disappears. It takes our energy, our thoughts, everything, anything bad, it removes it. And it brings in a blessing each time you do this. The more you do it, the more it seems everything comes in. I use this eagle feather. Years ago, I did a healing on a Alaskan man. He was going through lots of difficult things, and he gave me this, and this was given to him by his grandfather.
Okay.
And so, to pay me and for the what I did for him, this was a gift to me, and it was blessed by the grandfather and by him. So I use it to help people, and it's like it connects me into the energy field. Sometimes I use it. It spins, connects to energy. I can feel energy, and I take things
Just goes away. Yeah.
and it just breaks the energy. Like some people will use rattles. Some people use drums. Like in Mongolia, they use lots of drums. India, they, in lots of their ceremonies, they use drums. It breaks energy. So there's lots of different kinds of techniques depending on what part of the world you're.
But it resembles amazingly, because what you just said resembles so much the ancient Babylonian magic that it's really amazing. It resembles a lot. See, we are,
Exactly.
it's very, these are so ancient, very, very ancient techniques. Amazing. Yes.
Yeah. In a lot of my ceremonies, lots of my stuff, whenever I'm helping people, I use stuff from all around the world. I have sage from Mexico. I have sage from Arizona. I have the sage from the buffalo sage from the Sundance grounds, where me and Cindy, when we go there in the fall time to do ceremony for 4 days, we pick that, we go and pray. And then we have BC sage here. I have a lady who gave me sage from Africa because she's a medicine woman, so I mix that in too.
But it always matters how the sage is taken from the ground, right? You just cannot go to the pharmacy and buy sage or tea of sage tea. It needs to be properly received from the ground, right?
Yes, the more you learn to do that, it's something to do with your energy. It's something to do with the life force of creation, because creator is everything. And then that energy resonates in everything. So as you put your love, your intention, you're asking the plants to heal you, because before you take its life force, it's hearing, it knows. So that energy goes in there, and you're doing it with love and honor. So every time you go to use it, you put more love, more prayers. So every time it builds and builds and builds. So gifting it to people and getting them to use it brings really lots of change.
Oh, yes. Tell me, when you do such ritual, especially when it is about praying and asking the spirits from all four directions to come, what do you experience afterwards? Do you really, because I know that you are really clairvoyant, you see spirits, do you really, because I am not able to see them really, but do you with your senses, can you see them, or do you experience some kind of something like as a result of your praying?
Uh, it's always different with everybody. Their energy is different. When I'm going to do things to help people, first thing I do is I ask their guides and their spirits, what can I do to help them? How can I best help them? And why sometimes they're going through things, because sometimes they need to learn or change something because it's inside them and they're stuck. So when I'm doing that, usually it starts channeling, it starts coming in, and different things. I lots of times I see like movies from some part in their life where they had an experience that something is stuck in the energy fields. So I see that it needs to clear out. So when it clears out, it allows something new to come in. Um, Sometimes spirit animals, because we believe that there's spirit animals. Everybody has a spirit animal or spirit guide. If you were to study the medicine wheel, we believe there's four spirits, one in the north, one in the east, south, west. And they're like gatekeepers. And I always say they're just angels disguised as animals. And they have strengths, they have things they could teach you, they have knowledge because they all live off the earth, they all live off the plants and different things. So they know what's good to make their bodies healthy. They know where to go if they need certain kinds of minerals or different things. So if you connect with a spirit animal, it comes in your dreams. It shows up in your life all the time. It always like tries to make you see it or connect with it. And when you start inside asking, can it show you or teach you or help you? In the natives, a lot of us, when we work in the spirit world, we work with the bear. And the bear is all over the world in different parts of the world. And they eat the roots, they eat the berries. They know how to keep themselves alive in the hibernation. Like where I'm from in the Arctic, it's about 9 months our winter, like really, really cold and long. And the bear goes into the den and he stays alive for 9 months. His body keeps him alive, all the things he eats. And he knows all the different roots, berries, medicines, all the different plants, and what is really good and healthy. So lots of the medicine people connect with the bear. And it's like sometimes when I meditate or I pray or do something, it's like I'm in a cave. And in there, things are shown to me and things go on. And the spirits work with me there. They help me to see the person or what it is I need to understand and do.
You can, but it can be refused to you as well, right? It can be said to you, this person needs to go through this karmic lesson and you cannot help him right now, or you should not interfere. This is also happening or not, right?
Yes, it's a really big one. That's why I always ask people to ask their spirit guides if it's okay if I help them. Some things are there, like you said, for karma or to learn. I can't interfere. I can't remove it or interfere because then sometimes it gets stuck with me and it affects my life, which I don't really want to do because I like people to grow and learn. And I say, ask to learn your lessons really fast. Sometimes when we teach meditations and things, I say, invite it in so you can move through it and learn, because some people they run away from everything and they don't want to learn. They try to find ways to change it instead of change inside.
Yes, yes.
So I try to give them answers. I try to help them. I give them lots of things to look at so they could find a way to get an answer to invite new things into their lives.
This
And
is,
it's like you with astrology, and that I help people sometimes through numerology, that if they see how numbers, different kinds of numbers can do things in their lives. Sometimes like you, I use astrology. I'll tell them, well, in astrology, this is kinds of things you can look at that maybe will give you answers. So I use lots of different things, not just only the shamanism and the native way. I incorporate many kinds of things to help people because everybody's mind works different. Everybody trusts and don't trust. Everybody has fears or superstitions.
oh
And
yeah.
if they're really strong, it's hard to teach somebody something if you're making them afraid. So if you make them curious sometime about something new, all of a sudden they go, oh, and then they get excited and they
Yeah.
learn something new and they forget about being afraid and scared of their superstition or fear. And sometimes maybe they find a crystal and that crystal will make them feel safe and really good and it'll help them to change, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
now they're connecting to spirit, they're connecting to Earth Mother. That crystal, that rock, millions of years old, it has a life force in it, very powerful. And that life force is coming from the earth. And sometimes maybe just connecting that puts that beautiful energy bubble around them and make them feel so safe that they're connected to everything good. and that helps them to heal and maybe change something.
Yes. Oh, I believe also very much in the power of crystals and untreated stones, because once they go under certain treatment, finish, they're like dead. They kill them,
Yes,
right, with
yes.
chemicals. Yeah, people should be indeed very careful. But how can people then? You mentioned this uh, techniques, and how can really people make use of this in a very easy way, like you said, that how to pray. Then with the sage, what else can be done, like to clean your house from dark spirits, for example? How can we use the shamanistic means or your ancient knowledge in order for people which are not shamans or people which have no experience, in a simple way to make their lives easier?
There's lots of different plants that sometimes when you use them, they will do that, like lemongrass. Lemongrass brings in a really beautiful energy. For some reason, negative energy will move out. So if you get lemongrass oil and you put it in a water bottle and you spray it, and it will
Lemongrass
open up.
oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you mix it with water, it will do that. Sometimes I take sage, I take cedar, and some other medicines, and I boil them, and then I mix it in the bottle, and I say a prayer, and then with that I spray around. I go around the outside of the house, spray, and then as it evaporates, it takes away the bad, and it allows the good to come in, because that's what you want.
Oh yeah.
And always invite your angels. It's your right to have the spirits in you. Nobody can give you permission to have your spirits. They should be in your home, they should be in your car, they should be at your work, they should be at wherever you go, they should be with you all the time. And everybody can see, and the universe will bless you. You just got to believe inside that you're going to see. Because when you say, I can't see or I don't see, then there's a filter, because somewhere maybe you're scared from your child. When you're small, maybe you saw something. So there's an energy and when you believe inside you're going to see, you're going to hear, and all this, somewhere it all starts happening.
So
And
everyone can.
practicing ancient ways, sometimes just doing it over and over and over, the spirits slowly come in because they know now you're not afraid. And the more you talk to them, and the more you use the sage, and the more you ask them to open the space and fill you with light and open your third eye and to hear and everything, as it changes slowly, sometimes you pick up things that are a little bit frightening and you want to go back and close off. It's like, no, I want to go out, because the Creator blessed all of us right from when we're born to be all that way. And we all have those beautiful gifts and knowledge. We all have a purpose, and it's just believing inside you're going to open and see it all.
Is it actually all of us, Joe? Because is it so that there is big part of the humans in bodies in this incarnation which are actually not necessarily connected with the source? There is this version that some, like 50% of the humanity is only having a soul but not spirit really. So do you know what I mean? Does it make sense? What am I saying?
Yes, in the natives, we say there's people who are asleep,
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
they don't want to inside recognize higher things, so they choose to sleep.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
okay for them to be that way. To other people, sometimes maybe it's not really, but for them, for their soul, for everything, it is right, and it's not ours to judge. It's not for me to say you're wrong to do that. And I could see things about people. I don't tell them if they're right or wrong, because sometimes I could see what's going to happen with things in their lives, and sometimes they need to learn that they chose it, and I can't tell them they're wrong for whatever they're learning, and I have to just allow them that, and then I need to connect with people who want to go bigger and higher.
Oh
And then
yeah.
there's lots of different levels for different reasons.
Okay. Okay. So yes, this is again the start, the free will. The free will exists.
Exactly.
We do have to some extent. free will. We can choose, yeah. And it is exactly this, because the karma doesn't give us lots of free will, but the way we grow spiritually, and the way we choose to connect with the spirit world, this is where our free will is, so to say, right?
Exactly. So the more knowledge you get, the more you give yourself permission to learn and grow. Uh, we have many, 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 many lifetimes. So when we're born, some lifetimes we didn't finish, or we died some way, and we carry that energy vibration yet. And there's ways of finding answers in different things, like more and more and more with astrology, they're finding the karmic thing from other lifetimes, and they're helping people to realize they can clear and let that go. They don't have to carry it. As lots of people are going through life and they're like, I don't know why, I just feel this way all the time, or why I'm afraid. Like some people are afraid of water, and they might have drowned in a boat in another lifetime. So every time they go near water, they're afraid, and they just don't know inside. But if they can find that answer, then they clear it out and they heal it, and then they're never afraid of water again. Then they can move forwards, and they can go out on water, they can swim, they can go travel around with boats or whatever and feel safe with water. So whatever sometimes is not finished in other lifetimes are here for us to heal, to let go of the fear. Because really big thing about life is transcending past fear, trying to understand everything is love. But if there's fear, we're going to get scared, and we're going to fight, or we're going to do something to push it away instead of letting it in. And then, because this world, when we grow up, when we're children, we're just connected to everything, and then somewhere we disconnect, and we forget that beautiful love, and we forget. And as we get older and older and older, we disconnect so much, and there's so much fears and confusion. And then we wake up one day and we start finding our way back to that love, like when we're a little child. But when it starts
Yes,
coming in, it's scary again. And
yes.
people go through these different things, and they don't know how to just trust it to allow them to grow and become more beautiful.
Oh, yes. It makes so much sense what you're saying. But how far we can go with asking from our angels, from our guardians, how far we can go in asking favors or help in releasing our karma. This is very interesting.
It is that listening again inside, because everybody has spirits, guides, and things that keep them on that path. Before you were born, you asked all kinds of spirits to guide you down your path. And one day you're here, another day you're here. So one angel is making sure you heal and release this one lesson. And then this other angel is like, no, still need more to learn. And then finally you get here and it's like, done. So we have all these things from other lifetimes, and it's like a little child playing. If you're really curious, as children are really not afraid up until a certain point. One day,
Yeah.
and then they get afraid, right? But
Yes.
at first, they're just curious. And even when you tell them don't touch the stove, they keep touching it until they burn. Then they never go near the stove or touch it again. So even though we're adults in our bodies, we need to find that curiosity. We need to find that reason to go bigger, and listening to that voice inside, because I have to listen. There's sometimes I'm really stubborn too, and they say, don't do this. And sometimes I do it, and they're like, you know what's going to happen. And then stuff happens, and I'm like, okay, I knew I shouldn't have did it. You told me, but it was my fault. I needed to learn that too. So even when you're sometimes healing, sometimes we need to do something to understand. So inside us, we have healed that part, or we've learned the lesson, and that way we don't do it anymore. I know for me as a healer, lots of people say, you know what this is or how to fix it. And sometimes I say, I can't. When you're ready, I will help you. But for now, all I'm going to do is give you answers to allow you to grow, or get past your fear, or find, because I always try to connect people to other spiritual people, or I connect them to other kinds of modalities, because there's lots of kinds of ways to help the body. And just connecting with a person sometimes is they feel that friendship, that love of maybe they never had that. And sometimes they need that so they can trust, and then they start learning how to go past, and then they're ready for the next thing and the next thing. So sometimes you just need to allow them to find that inside, and it's okay for them to accept that they're this beautiful person. There's nothing wrong, there's nothing scarred. The world just tries to make you believe that you're all these things, which is not real. But you need something to help you to feel that way. And sometimes it's through people, sometimes it's through ceremonies, sometimes through reading books, or sometimes sitting with a crystal with your eyes closed and oh, and something magic happens inside you. It makes you feel excited or alive, right?
Yes.
And that's really important.
So it is about you, yourself, your enlightenment, your connection with the spirit world, how far you can change your karma. Actually, every day you can work towards changing your karma, right? The bad things, I mean.
Yes.
It depends on your awakening, your vibrational level, how far you are, right? In order to be able to...
More and more and more, they're doing more scientific studies on ancient cultures and why they prayed and why they smudged and all kinds of different things and why they practiced or did different things. It's like even when you eat something, if the energy is not in it, it's going to affect your body for days. It's going to make you either angry or frustrated. You know, some people with diabetes, it is too much sugar. It makes them really angry and they just want to hurt and get mad at everybody, and they can't control themselves. So even the putting things in our bodies, if it's not making us feel good, maybe we need to get rid of it, right? And our bodies are sacred temples. Like our soul lives inside this body, and we created it to be beautiful. And there's only one of you, one of me, or one of my partner, or whoever. And we have this life, and there's a soul or a loving higher energy that wants to be inside that, expressing the humanness. So putting those things in makes it a little more beautiful, finding those truths, finding the desire, but also honoring yourself, because you're human, you're here to learn something. It's like this little white eagle feather and this big eagle feather, they're both like this one we found on the beach off Vancouver Island on the Denman Island.
I will start collecting them from now on. When I see their meaning, I'm starting to collect the feathers.
Yeah. And then this eagle feather is from Alaska. This is a condor feather from Peru. There was a lady that worked with shamans in Peru. After she finished studying with them, they blessed this condor feather. She brought it back to the States. When she was there, her spirit angel guides told her to bring it to Canada because she's going to see somebody it belongs to. And she didn't think, so eventually she brought it with her. And I was invited to a ceremony 3 months before. They told me I would get a condor feather. And I'm like, yeah. I thought maybe my ego was, but I was at this ceremony and this woman walked in and she says, I have something for you. And she went to the car, and when she came back, she gave me this. And she says, the Peruvian shaman, they all blessed this feather and it was meant for me.
Oh, so kind.
So the spirits, when you ask for your gifts and your medicine and all these different things that are yours, even your crystals, say you were Atlantean or Lemurian and you were very high and you knew really lots, maybe you worked with the crystals and the earth energies. So maybe there's a crystal like this somewhere on the planet that when you were way back in those past times, you prayed and you put all kinds of energy and thoughts and prayers into that crystal. You can ask for that crystal to come to you if it's yours, if it's in another lifetime.
It has a ruler as well. It has spirits which rulers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so maybe you did that. So when you connect with it, it starts opening you and giving you back, because it's like the Akashic records. A lot of people hear about the Akashic records. It's all your other lifetimes recorded. It's all your future lifetimes already there, and this lifetime. So this is like the same thing. It has all the knowledge that ever was on the planet for over 400 billion years. It has knowledge. It has a life force. It has. So if it is yours, when you sit with it, it's going to be like a TV or something. It's going to open you up, and you're going to get access to all of that knowledge that already is yours. Sometimes we master stuff in other lifetimes, and that energy is there. But if we're not asking for it, then it's not going to come to us.
Oh,
So maybe you already learned all about Buddhism. Maybe you even ascended as a Buddhist master, but you don't know that. If you don't ask, that energy, you can't connect with it.
oh, so we have to know what to ask. This is key.
Yes.
A key.
And that's a part with the plants and everything. They all help you because they're all part of the earth. And the earth mother, she's always trying to help us. So you can ask her if she can help you see things. And you just start inside believing what you're seeing. Because people say, oh no, I'm daydreaming, I just made it up. Well, maybe actually the universe or your guides were really showing you something, but you keep going. And then you ask again, they show you, go, nah, I'm just daydreaming, it's not real. Then eventually it shuts off. So part of it is asking the universe to prove to you that it's right. And the more you ask them to prove that, the more you're going to realize this inside, this bigger connection to everything is showing you, helping you in lots of ways. And then it also will teach you how to use your energy, or where you need to do certain things that will bring even more positive.
I have to ask you something which is a bit negative, because we're speaking always about natural means, crystals, herbs, even metals, all that comes from Mother Nature. Now, when they will be introducing all over the planet this 5G, how is this going to affect? I'm really worried about this, because this is going to affect the energy fields of the plants, of the stones, of everything. What is your opinion about this?
A long time ago, about 20 years ago or sometime, I was asking the universe about that, because I spent a lot of time studying prophecies. I studied Nostradamus. I studied lots of other stuff from cultures, even in the natives. We have really lots of prophecies. We have really lots of visions. And in our ceremonies, in the sweat lodges and stuff, we get shown things about the future. So I was asking about that, and they say they will have things that will help people. We're going to change the way we do everything. It's trying to push us into doing and disconnecting from this and going into this.
Yes.
And one of the things they told me about the future is they're already designing and making clothing, like Kevlar, Teflon, different kinds of things that keep that stuff from affecting the body. So wearing a hoodie with certain kinds of stuff, so if that's going on, it's not going to affect your body. There's going to be really lots of other kinds of technologies, even growing stuff. They're going to design things so you will grow things different.
Different in what sense? When they destroy the plants and the energy, like they will, the organic food which we're trying, the organic vegetables and the real herbs, the ones that have healing powers, would they keep their healing power? Would the organic food still be organic? That is the question.
Yes.
The gemstone, you just the crystal in your hands, would this crystal hold its real powers when?
Because this one, I use it for that, so it knows that. So I ask it not to absorb things that are harmful to people or to me. So it knows, it holds its own energy. It doesn't need to have that. And then I smudge it and I clear it all the time. And I ask the universe to allow the good energy to stay with it. So anybody that holds it or anytime I use it, it's going to help people in the positive, not in the negative. So
Yes.
when you talk to crystals or plants and that, you talk to them and like, you ever heard of the books Anastasia, The Ringing Cedars?
Of course, I read them in Russian, all of them, 9 of them.
I read them all too. There's 2 more, 3 more.
I didn't know the new about. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I read them all. In her book, she talks about how we're gonna to be able to do all of this too. How she's like, put your spit and put the seed, so the seed knows what your body needs.
Yes,
So when
to
you
heal
plant
you.
it
Yes,
will heal you. See, you know this. And in those books, she talks about all these healings, all this stuff, and how we can change and do things. In those books, she tells really lots of stuff.
yes,
And she talks about the ancient times and how we're going to end up bringing all these things back again. But when we put too much energy about the 5G, then we're forgetting all this knowledge that we have inside, and you read those books and everything, so you know how already to do these things.
yes, yes. Okay, so it is exactly maybe up to our own vibrational level on how to overcome this influence
Yes.
to a
And
degree.
in the universe will always have a way. That's why if you ask, they will show it to you. They will bring it to you. You ask, well, who has knowledge that is aware of this and is going to help this planet change? Can I somehow connect with that person? And then that person shows up, and then they will give you answers and show you things too. And
I
then you share.
confirm. I confirm. I feel it. It works exactly this way. I absolutely agree with you. Now when we have in this Saturn in you, now you're astrologer, you know, now we have retrograde Saturn, retrograde Jupiter, retrograde Pluto, Mars opposition Saturn, Ketu with Saturn. It's a bit complex, and this is not just happening every day, you know, this is quite a rare combination. How through natural means we can help ourselves, because this is affecting humanity, everyone. This is just slowing down the things on earth. It will be a bit difficult for everyone how to help ourselves.
This is where you got to turn to the earth, because we always go to the universe. And this is trying to get us to come inside here and go to the earth. It's like growing roots deep into the earth, and even if there's a big wind, it can't knock you down like a big tree. And the more your roots go in and the more you connect with the earth, the more she's going to help you. She has real lots of loving energy. Every plant, everything. You can grow, because everybody has their own trees. Everybody has their own. So when you have these around you, they take you deeper into the earth. They hold stronger energy for you. And
So,
it's really important. But also every morning to thank the sun.
oh yeah.
You know, every morning you get in the morning, no matter whether life is good or bad, you just be thankful that today I opened my eyes. That's my biggest gift. It's now in my body to be the human, to try to do something good on this planet with love. And the natives, they always say, walk with a gentle step, because you're walking on your mother. Walk with love. Step on her gently. People are like, boom, 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 boom,
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. Yes.
And when we go into ceremony and we dance, we do anything, we try to do it with love. And we
Oh,
pray for the future. We pray for all the little boys and girls that are being born. We say the grandmothers and the grandfathers of the future, because we're going to give the earth to them and they're going to make it better. So we say prayers for them in the future. So they're the ones that are going to make it beautiful. So when we're reborn, we're going to be grandmothers and grandfathers again. We're going to be born back into a beautiful world.
okay. Tell me, since you're a healer, you see people's destinies, can you help people also through internet, because you're living in such special place, you know, where not everyone can reach you, of course, but how can you help people online? And because I will place, of course, the link to your website, to your contacts, but if somebody needs your help for healing, can you also help and feel the energies from distance?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you can also
Uh,
help people if they need your help through also like connecting you online with you online.
yes. And the thing is, they have to be really open minded, because everybody grows up with different things. And in the native culture, we're very open minded, we're very accepting to growing and evolving. And I spent all my life trying to read and understand all the other cultures, because when I was taken away from my granddad at 9 years old and forced to be in the residential school, they flew me to this town, they put me in the residential school. The preacher told me, he says, no matter what you natives do, when you die, you're going to burn in hell. And I'm like, okay, well, why does God love the Jews? Why does God love the Orientals, the Buddhists? Why does God love the people from India and Pakistan and all their gods? Why are they all special? Why do they say the world is going to be theirs in the future? And like, what did we do wrong? Why would God create some race of people just to burn, no matter what
Wow,
they
of
did?
course. Yeah.
I got really, really angry, and I spent all my life. My granddad always told me, read and study, read anything, study any, ask any kind of question. There's no such thing as a dumb questioner, and there is no such thing as a dumb person. And he raised me to be that way. So I read really lots, and then throughout my life, like I read 5 different Bibles, trying to understand how come the Mormons have theirs, the Anglican, the Protestant, why they all believe in what they believe. And in the end, I found out if you're looking for the bad, you're always going to find the bad because you're attracting it, because that's what you're looking for.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
looking for the positive, you're always going to attract the positive because that's what you're looking for. So every belief you go into and you find the good that feels right for you, you allow that to be a part of you because it's very loving and it's going to attract good. But if you're only looking for the negative, you look at Christianity, they only have a few things that are negative. You go to Buddhism, they have thousands and thousands of things. You go to Pakistan or India, they got all kinds of gods and all kinds of stuff. So if you're searching for the negative, man, you're going to find it all. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
do
Oh,
attract
yeah.
it. But if you're looking for the beauty and the love and the joy, like even a plant, just sitting with a plant and just seeing its beauty is there. But you can use things in an opposite way. So everything that is good is got an opposite. So it's how you want to see and have that come to you.
Oh, yes. This was Well, yes, this was so interesting, and maybe we can conclude. Just we mentioned about the Saturn period. Maybe last thing, and I hope we can have another conversation, maybe to show some practical things for meditation or other techniques. If you would accept my invitation for another talk, but before that, can we say if you detect very bad influences like black magic? Because I will tell you that very often I see in the horoscopes that people suffer from bad black influences, and in every culture this exists. More
Yeah.
in my Balkanic culture, a lot in the African, Oriental cultures, maybe not that much in your culture, I'm not sure.
No, really lots since everybody's been in residential school, lots of fear. In our native culture, we call it bad medicine because
Oh,
it's
okay.
a negative thought that can make other people sick. So we call it bad medicine.
How
Good
to get rid of
medicine is
this?
something that's very loving and makes things really good for people. Bad medicine is a really bad thought that can make people sick. So we call it bad medicine.
How to get rid of
And
this? How?
and it's learning because you attract that to teach you and help you to go past something. That's where the fear again comes in. And for everything there's something, whether it's plants, whether it's crystals, whether it's just finding even a meditation, there's something inside that will change how that energy is, because once you shift it and you go over here, this person can do that and it won't affect you because now you put a bigger, brighter energy. So you amplify energy out. So the more you, it's like a battery. The battery's really low and you try to plug a light bulb in, it's not very bright. But if you fill the battery up, it lights really bright and it goes for a really, really long time. So every time we learn something good and it's inside us, it makes a bigger energy. So the negative thing eventually will go further and further away.
Okay, okay.
And it's the same thing as if you're searching for the bad, it's going to come to you. It's going to teach you
Yes,
something.
on
It's
the
going to
same,
scare you
yeah.
and all. But if you're searching for the good is going to come in and it's going to, as it gets better, the bad thing is going to go away because it can't scare you and you're not
Can't.
looking for it, right?
Yes.
And that learning, asking to learn it. Why am I attracting this? What is it I need to know? If I make
Oh, yeah.
a mistake in my other past lives, maybe that's something I played with. And maybe I need to understand it's okay now. I can let that go. And something will fix itself. So sometimes it's like I said, past life will attract things for a reason. And when we realize these fears are the thing that's holding us trapped, as soon as we release it, like turning on a light, the dark goes away.
Oh, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. And very helpful also to me. Thank you so much, Joe. I think we can complete this, let's say one part, and I hope we can continue. This was so interesting. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you. This was really, really very, very useful and very enlightened and hopeful, that because it is, everything is up to us. And when we ask, we just receive help. And this is the most important.
And that's everybody, because the creator says, I wait for everybody. I have the answers to everybody, everything in their lifetime. But sometimes I wait to hear them ask for me. You're my children. Sometimes I just want you to ask me and I give you and I will help you and show you. I feel too that maybe, I'd like you to come over here.
Hello.
Hi, Cindy. Hello.
Partner Cindy, and I feel maybe she may have things too. She's been with me 9 years. She has learned really lots of things.
Oh,
I'm
wonderful, Cindy.
feeling there's something she could teach because she understands me, and sometimes I say things she can break it down a little bit and help people a little more. Her, she likes really putting things in words. Me, I just like saying it and being done.
Oh, you explained everything so wonderfully and so in such a positive manner, because maybe now this retrograde Saturn influences also me thinking, in a bit Saturn in melancholic way. But the way you spoke was also so helpful for me, and so uh, it brought so much light. So I really thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, I think Joe said everything really well.
Everything wonderfully. Yes,
Yeah,
Joe. I just hope we can one day, when you like, we can explain really practically also how people can meditate to attract the right information and thoughts and these things.
yeah. My only little bit I'd add to that is that being grateful for things that you don't even know about, like your blessings that are coming to you, your answers. You don't have your answer yet, but being grateful because you know that that answer is coming. So that's a vibration that comes off of you, and it attracts to you
Oh
the
yeah.
answer. And that when the answer comes in, it's like asking, when the answer to my question comes in, I want to know it. And so you're letting them know, make sure it's clear. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
want, this maybe I don't know kind of feel. Like, make it really clear that I've
Like
received
be
that.
persistent and clear that I need specific. Yes, actually, intuitively I knew this, and this is also how I'm asking for knowledge. Please, right now, I need this information, and here Joe comes and gives me the information.
That's awesome.
That's yeah, but I am persistent, like you say, and I try to say it clearly. Please give me the yes, exactly.
But then you got to let it go, because you got to allow the space in your life for the answer to come to you. And then the other thing I would add just real quick is that often in Joe's teaching is that the Earth Mother, she is an intelligent being. And to recognize that, and that with what is coming for the future, yeah, there's a lot of scary stuff with the 5G and
Oh
just
yeah.
in the oceans, and the toxins that we humans have done. But that the Earth Mother, she's intelligent. She is allowing this to happen for a reason, asking to work with her instead of going at war with what we think is wrong. It's like, for some reason, Earth Mother has allowed this to happen. And it is an evolution of ourselves. And so she's providing us that opportunity. So not to be at fear and at war with it, but to be in harmony with the earth. The answers will come and you'll work with her. She'll guide you.
Oh yes. Also very wonderful.
So
Well,
can I send smoke through the computer to you and everybody that's going to watch this?
thank you, Joe. Please
Okay.
do.
All
Please
right. So I'm
do.
going to ask Creator to help everybody to open them up, to feel safe, to feel love, the ground to their loving truth, to trust in their angels, to allow the light to come in to bring the peace and the joy, and that they will receive all their answers to help them so they're not afraid, and they will reach out and help other people to be safe too.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Krasi, for having Joe.
Both of you, thank you so much.
Thank you.